Hi, everyone. I'm Abby Adams. I'm one of the senior consulting directors with Aptitude. And today I have Matt Reynolds and Marty Elkins here with me from UNC Healthcare System. Matt and Marty, if you could just introduce yourselves to start and kind of tell us about your role.
Sure. My name is Marty Elkins. I am a strategic sourcing and contract manager at the system level for UNC Health. I focus on GI, urology, and specialty surgery.
And my name is Matt Reynolds. I am the system category manager for the same areas as Marty.
And Matt, if you could kind of give us a little bit of insight about how you and Marty work together as a team regarding category management and the value analysis and contracting process.
Absolutely. Marty and I work in tandem for all initiatives and new products coming into the UNC health system. Marty in contracts, she focuses on the actual contract, what obligations are for an area, what are the contractual obligations, concerns, and risks if we move away from a contract. Whereas I focus on the analytic and financial impact of items coming into the system and initiatives on if we move from one vendor to the other. If a new product or an initiative is a good move for the system to move. We also both participate in negotiations for contracts and also like when we're trying to negotiate initiatives with new vendors coming into the system.
Thanks, guys, for introducing yourselves and kind of giving everyone an overview of UNC as a system. One of the things that I wanted to talk with both of you about today is how does UNC approach opportunities? How do you guys look at these opportunities to vet them and determine what makes sense to move forward?
Sure. I can go ahead and start, Matt. When we're looking through at least the contracting piece, we want to make sure all our contracts within a certain category or space are coterminous with the initiatives and the expiration dates and things like that. We don't want a whole bunch of different contracts and categories being done at having to do at different times or having to wait and get extensions. We just want to make sure we're moving as efficient as we can. It's easier on the system clinicians and of course our department. We really prioritize the opportunities based on the overall financial impact, but also around the roles, new products. So we have a lot of new product requests within our system, especially being an academic medical center. So we really try to keep on top of that so our clinicians can have the best opportunity for the products they need. In order for us to do so, make sure we've got the products, we want to do benchmarking using supply analytics and aptitude, review it, again, potential strategies to achieve a similar pricing for all the facilities. So everybody's on one system agreement.
And then from an analytical perspective, we want to make sure that they're beneficial to the system. Like, what is the impact, not just for the whole system, but our different entities want to know how it's going to impact them at their local level. We also want to bring in the clinical teams into the mix and into the conversation. So we have value analysis team meetings every month where we'll review new product requests, but we'll also review initiatives, upcoming initiatives, what the opportunity can be, and how we need to bring in the different clinicians at the facility level so that way their voices are being heard, their considerations are being addressed, and that way we're also not just looking at it from a dollar perspective, but also making sure that the patient is ultimately receiving the best care and the best products possible.
I think you both made some really great points that I think resonate with a lot of hospital systems that we work with, which is, especially if you have multiple facilities, like Marty mentioned, having that price parity across all of your facilities is extremely important. You don't want, one facility paying a different price. So, working with you guys, so that you guys can develop that system pricing structure has been really great to see. I think that's a best practice that people should really be working towards. And then also your batch structure, like you had talked about, Matt. Most hospitals that we work with, they're trying to work towards that clinically integrated supply chain and having that VA structure, that batch structure that includes your clinicians, where you're getting their buy-in and support at the beginning of initiatives, really kind of makes or breaks the success of what we do collectively as a team. So I think those are great points. How do you guys leverage the resources like aptitude, supply analytics, if we bring in clinical subject matter expertise to aid you guys in your work? How do you guys do that?
We use that a lot, and aptitude and supply analytics, they provide great tools. They provide snapshots and insight of the system, the UNC health system, that are easy to present to our internal leadership, clinicians, and on our value analysis sub work group teams. So we have an example of this. Marty and I just finished up a GI initiative, and basically Abby and her team were able to break apart the product spend categories by not just facility, but by market share, and also, even more importantly, price index and potential savings for conversion. And when you guys did that, you put it in a nice PowerPoint for us, so that way when we were meeting with our teams, our value analysis teams, we could present it in a very concise manner, so that way they could see what the best opportunities would be for us moving forward on a financial level. So that's really helpful for us, because Marty and I are very busy, and it's just an extra arm that you guys are able to bring into the conversation and provide us with just really important information. Also, when we do have an RFP that comes back into the system, your team is able to break that apart for us, so that way Marty and I don't have to. Marty and I view, folks like yourself, Abby Adams, and from Aptitude, and Mary Russell from Supply Analytics, as an extension of our supply chain. And we really trust your expertise and your partnership.
And I think too, to add to that, Matt, Aptitude provides pre-negotiated terms and conditions for a state agency. So we do have to add specifics, but it really makes the process a lot smoother to just be able to skip that part basically and just add in what's needed.
I think that's a great point, Marty, that while we do have those pre-negotiated terms and conditions available with a lot of vendors, there's still a lot of flexibility to do that. So, all right, thank you.
No, Abby, we have actually a question for you. From your perspective, what do you like about working with UNC as an IDN?
I think that one of the things that has made us so successful, is our partnership. UNC has really adopted Aptitude and the supply analytics team as an extension of you. We're here to work at your direction, and you guys have really leveraged our support and the deliverables that we can provide to free up your time to focus more on your internal stakeholder conversations, getting that clinical buy-in, the supplier negotiations, the overarching strategies, and monitoring that overall contract maintenance piece. Since we can take some of the analytical lift and some of the contract prep lift off of your guys' plate, and then you're just reviewing and approving the information, we're really just acting as an extension of you. You guys have really embraced that and adopted the process. All right, so Matt and Marty, I do have one last question for you. Since UNC has been doing this for a while, and you guys have been working with Vizient and the Aptitude and supply analytics teams for a long time, one thing that we like to do in this is to share any best practices that you might have.
My best practice would be partner with your Aptitude and supply analytic team members. We have monthly meetings with both Abby and Mary, and I'm sure everyone on this call is very busy, and it's their job to be a second pair of eyes for you all, and to help identify opportunities and areas that could potentially save your IDN or your hospital money. That's been very helpful to us.
And I think Abby, with Aptitude and supply analytics, we're able to streamline the strategic sourcing process. You all have researched, done the heavy lift. We really can just skip stairs and things of the process to be at the next level, to go ahead and start, what people would take 2-3 months to have to go back and do the work. We can all of a sudden have it there in front of us, have the picture in front of us. So it really is a win-win, for both sides.
I think that's a great point, Marty, that the time that it takes to get one of these initiatives from start to finish, from, the beginning identification all the way through to the contracting, really starts eating into any of that value that you might see. So I think that's one thing that UNC has really excelled, is leveraging the tools and the resources so that you guys can act on things quickly, get things implemented, and get the information in front of the stakeholders who need to make those decisions so that you can move forward. Well, thank you guys so much for coming on and talking with all of us today. Thank you, Matt and Marty, for participating in Access 23. And I really look forward to working with UNC in the future.
Thank you, Abby.
Thank you, Abby.